To those out there who want to, but more importantly, need to be more in tune with your friends and family with mental health, I'm going to list a couple of the signs that you might have not thought twice about before, but you might do now. So the first one is just a sudden change in contact. Because if you've been in contact with someone through meeting up with them, or messaging on social media maybe or text, and then the contact suddenly cuts off, it can sometimes feel bizarre on how sudden and distant it seems, and it can throw us off because we feel like we've done something wrong. Or maybe if your friend or family is usually very consistent at being in contact with you, and then there's a period when they're not so much, and they seem a lot more distant than normal. This could be the person wanting to retreat into themselves. They do this as a form of self-protection, because when you retreat into yourself, you feel a lot safer. Something might have happened in the background via personal family matters or friend matters, depending on which side you're looking at it from. So that may have affected them really badly. Or it could also be having a heightened episode of depression or anxiety, because this makes us feel a lot more insecure when we do have these heightened episodes. So this is how the person might be coping and reacting to it. Before opening up with mental health issues, you think you can manage everything by yourself, so that's why you don't say anything. And it could be even you won't talk to your best friend about it, which, as we know, is a recipe for disaster. So instead of getting offended maybe, or feeling like they don't value you, maybe think about what they might be going on and how they might be feeling in the inside. The second one is making constant excuses for social events. So this links to the first one, but it's a different trigger, so it's worth talking about separately. So when you are depressed, or you do have high levels of social anxiety, you will make any excuse to miss a social event. You avoid these social events because you see them as a potential way of making yourself more vulnerable by feeling you're going to be embarrassing yourself, you're going to feel you're being judged, or you won't fit in. And as we know, this is a bare bone of human psychology, feeling like we need to fit in some aspect of our life. So not to feel like you're going to fit in is a very off-putting thought. So avoiding these social events to prevent any of this potential damage or hurt that you perceive yourself is going to happen, which is why we just don't do these social events at all. And it could be even close friends, because any single social event you see as a potential to cause more pain. Although sometimes we do miss these social events because life gets in the way, and sometimes we don't feel it here and there, and that's normal, we're allowed to feel that. But if it does happen on a consistent basis, maybe that's that time to start taking note on actually what that person could be going through. The third one would be untidy environments. So if someone's room is messy, or it seems they don't have much state for their hygiene, this could be a bit of a warning sign as well, because what you need to ask yourself is, if someone is battling their demons inside of their heads and those thoughts every single day, which is draining them mentally, emotionally and physically, do you honestly think they're going to care about the state of their room? Or maybe sometimes the sense of their hygiene? And I do believe there are people out there who have a less sense of cleanliness about them. So I'm not saying everyone has a messy room, has mental health issues, but if it's at a level where it is uncomfortable and it's happening on a consistent basis, then maybe reflect on, how that person is feeling on inside. Because more often, how someone looks after themselves on the outside reflects on how they look after themselves or how they feel on the inside. So here would be 3 signs that you might not have thought twice about before, but you might think twice about now. Because hopefully divulging into the mind of someone who's already been through the process of suffering with depression can allow you to be empathetic into the worlds of those who are struggling on a day-to-day basis. And ultimately, being more aware, you could be the difference between someone starting their recovery or carrying on the dark path to unknown consequences.